Welcome back to In His Mind. I just want to take a couple minutes to talk about this particular topic that was raised up here. And I would like to point out that I think channeling and positive critiquing is going to be extremely helpful rather than just condemning and pummeling this particular topic into the ground. I have spent a lot of time, and I'll probably say roughly 2 years collectively on this topic of hypergamy. And I admit I've gone through an anger phase myself. I've already been through at least one entire anger phase that's completely unrelated, tied with other issues. And that was over 23 years of my life. So I'm tired of having anger consume so much of my life. It's not bad to be angry. It's not wrong or evil, even evil and immoral to be angry. It's one of those things where you can easily let it consume you and help dictate your actions, and by swaying your emotions and feelings to take charge, take the rein, and just go for it. Go for the reaction, to always be reactive because of anger. Anger can kind of prevent you from being proactive, in the sense of where you're taking this into account, you're planning, you're going about your day. But if someone pisses you off, you're gonna want to try to respond right then and there, get revenge, get whatever. I mean, I'm in my car, so like, an angry driver is a deadly driver. And having seen at least one car accident right in front of my eyes, that is something I don't care about what happens. I don't want to have that ever happen to me or in front of me ever again. And yeah, the car accidents that I've been at have been an eye-opener for sure. Sliding downhill in ice and going headfirst into another truck was not something I ever want to repeat. Accidents happen. Sliding off the road, yeah, that happened to me too. Oh man. So, hypergamy is, I think, natural and is put into women by God with the way they're designed, because protection for the women and for their kids, that's needed. And choosing the best of the men out there is definitely one of those ways to protect yourself, because leaning on someone who's weak, not able to help out, to take responsibility, to take charge, and to, what's the word? To cover the woman, to help out in her life. If she's choosing someone who's weak, who can't support her, what's the point? She's just going to get overrun. And I think Jesus puts a lot into perspective as well as he can with what was there. I wish there were more examples on this, but him pointing things out to other women and to the other apostles, to the men that followed him, was incredible. If you note his responses to the women, the message behind a lot of that is very clear about how men and women are of equal value and of equal standing in God's sight. We are made very wonderful, but very different and very unique. We have different roles and responsibilities to try to tackle in our life. Hypergamy just happens to fall on the women's side. That being said, there's a ton of anger that comes down to it because men, including myself, we've largely been burned in a lot of these areas. Sometimes we can see it, other times we can't. Now, since I realize a lot of this stuff is like a loaded gun, in the sense of like, once you understand the truth, some men will just simply want to check out, and they're like, dude, I can't handle this. I just can't. So they self-delete. It's a pain, but, well, sometimes it is what it is, and other times you have an opportunity to step in there and be like, I'll be there for you. Just, my phone's here, just give me a call, shoot me a text. I know what you're going through. As it is, I think a lot of this anger that is held towards women, I think it's an indicator of a couple of things. One, that there's problems that we all are aware of tied with feminism. Two, I am strongly believing that there needs to be healing in this so you can let it go, so the anger doesn't hang before you, keeping you from enjoying your life and living life to the fullest. In some ways, it's a lot easier just letting it go so you don't waste the energy, you don't waste your time and emotions worrying and dealing with stuff that doesn't even involve you. You just happen to be a victim. Now, here's the hard problem, is when you are a victim and you try to call it out, some people are just going to be like, that's bullshit, man, and they're going to give you crap for it because it's like men can't be victims, or whatever the narrative says about that. We're victims all the time. We hurt ourselves, we hurt those that we love, men, women, kids, like, geez. Everyone hurts each other and ourselves. Like, it's a sad truth. Anyway, just people, we are faulty, we make mistakes, we hurt ourselves, we hurt each other, we're inaccurate. We want to try to be accurate in some cases, you know, we want to give the right answers, and we want to be honest and truthful, you know, and we're not. We're only going to go so far, and we are very limited, both in our energy and in our sight, what we see. Having a different perspective can actually help widen that a little bit to help you make a better choice. In this particular case, I'm going to try to sum everything up here, is instead of trying to control and to bash, why not try to channel, to positively critique and point out stuff that's helpful and positive. Like, this could be a real asset to you if you chose to do X, Y, and Z. You know, if it's going to be there, why not just try to set standards for it? Now, that ties in with the other video a couple months ago with me and my gym trainer. We talked about how, like, companies love to set standards just so they can monetize it or say what's wrong. You're wrong because you're not following this standard. Boom. I think God is very wise in only setting a couple of standards just so that we can understand where some things lie, and that the rest we just simply have to make up, and we choose to accept what other people say, or we make something up and go with it. That's where tradition kind of falls into place, where, like, standards brought from the past are usually set in the past for a reason, and they're there to help, not to hurt. Sure, it's going to suck at times, but, you know, what doesn't suck? There's going to be pain and issues no matter what. It's just kind of the way life is. Oh, another side note, if life was perfect, where would God fit into it? Where would improvement fit into it? I mean, here's the thing. Being the best version of yourself, the main split there is you and God. That's just the non-biblical way of saying sanctification. The split comes when you focus on yourself more so than God. And even if you don't care about God, you're an atheist or whatever, or you're a Satanist or whatever. I've talked to a couple of those guys, and frankly, we can have some good conversations if they would be open up to, like, considering other possibilities. Anyway, I go off the topic all over the case, and I just want to do like a one shot, one deal. If I make a mistake, so be it. I'm just going to go for it. I don't really have the time to just stop and edit and try to get things as perfect as possible. I wish I could, but I can't. So basically, channeling. I'm going to probably put the name of the video as that, or something along the lines of that. Now, check the description down below for the link to the actual video here, because I think there's something in it that's worth watching. Hammerhand, you're an awesome guy. You really are. I still hope that you and I can have a conversation about God and men one of these days. I'm going to do more on that particular series with God and men, because I strongly believe we are needed. God is always around, and while God should be wanted, he framed things in such a way where he doesn't have to be needed. But that just kind of highlights other important things that I can go into later. And to be honest, understanding and seeing more of this makes me keenly aware of more that I hesitate on talking about. Because, again, knowledge can be like a loaded gun. Be careful of some of this stuff, because some people are not ready or even able to handle some of this. Some of the stuff is really potent. In terms of our struggles, if you're not aware of what the other person may struggle with, giving them tools and information may be overdoing it. All right, till next time, take it easy.